Welcome, welcome, everybody. Let's get us started here. We got Havoc coming in against UNew Haven Varsity. Should be a good match, eh, Red Barrel?
Absolutely, sir. We're going to be taking a look at a true showing of beautiful Overwatch today. I cannot wait to get this on on the row.
Yeah, he's got a good feeling. That's what this is. He only says that when he's got a good feeling about a match. I would like to see UNew Haven take some maps. I would like to see them move up in the power rankings. What are you thinking, Red?
Absolutely. I mean, just taking a look at what we've seen in the past as far as for the performance coming in from 413 Havoc, it's been nothing but just absolutely great showings. And then whenever we take a look at the University of New Haven, also great Overwatch. However, it just will it be enough? Will it be enough in order to take the 413 Havoc seat according to our power rankings? But before we get to the power rankings, I think we should take a look at those fixtures. So taking a look at week 4 right here, we did have the WVU Mountaineers go up against 413 Nightshade yesterday, and we had the VOD for that today going on. It was a 3-1, and unfortunately, Nightshade was not able to come out with the win, but the Mountaineers are still holding strong under their point. Taking a look, we are going to have that match for 413 Havoc today in the University of New Haven Varsity, and later in the week, we're going to have Catalyst versus Riot, Taters versus Ascent, and the UAH Charge Blue versus Bad at Overwatch. So stay tuned for those matches as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. Suspect, what do you see whenever you look at these standings?
What I see is I see a lot of people kind of low at the bottom here. You're looking at potatoes. They have not taken a map yet. That said, their strength of schedule has been pretty tough so far as I can tell. So, we've got a couple teams here with some tough strength of schedule that are like ending up at the bottom, and a couple teams at the top who kind of some would say have had a weaker strength of schedule. So it'll be interesting to see if some of the top teams get exposed, and maybe we see these standings shift completely. What do you think, Red?
I think that whenever you're taking a look at these standings, that you absolutely have to take into account the difficulties of the schedules. Now, the difficulties, whenever they were pre-made, they're just kind of all over the place. But in us being in the first few weeks of the tournament, it's really hard to really pinpoint who's really going to be standing out up top and who's really just bringing their A game every single week. So with that being said, I think that we should go ahead and take a look at the casters' power rankings, brought to you by Rogue Energy. Now, taking a look at these power rankings, suspect, what do you think is going to be the biggest upset in this coming week? Taking a look at these rankings so far.
Honestly, I think in the coming week, the closest game we might end up having, I don't know. I've got some faith. I think Potatoes, they won the division below last season. So I think coming in here they went up against Mountaineers and Havoc. So they've had really tough, our S tier, they've already faced off. They've already lost. Now they're coming in against Catalyst, closer to our middle tier. There's a real chance for them to come apart. I think that as far as the rest go though, I think a lot of it's gonna go as mostly planned. I think Ascents versus um who are they versing again? Red? They're going up against
The Ascent is going up against the Potatoes this week.
right. Perfect. So yeah, like I said, potatoes definitely have an opportunity there to kind of, show us, shake it up. That maybe they, 3-0 Ascents, they come out here and they're looking really good, and suddenly, they shoot up in the rankings.
I think taking a look at these rankings that Catalyst is actually one of those that has been given the short end of the stick in this sort of situation. I think that with the performance thus far, again with their very strong their strong showings, even against some of the most powerful teams that we have going up here. I do believe that they're going to probably climb to that A tier in the coming weeks. But I'm really interested to see if the University of New Haven can bring themselves out from the C tier with this game, showing up how much they are ready to play.
Yeah, and of course, we've got our caster predictions here. So if I was gonna call it right now, I gotta give it to my homeboys. Of course, Havoc, been a solid player all through and through. They beat WV Mountaineers last year's champions. I think coming into this, they look better. That said, I think there's a lot of room for error coming out the other end. So if New Haven just plays it correctly, I think they could have a really good shot. What do you think, Red Barrel?
I'm I think I think the decision's already been made for me. It looks like I'm going to be sticking with the 413 Havoc as well. It's just the roster is so impenetrable whenever you're talking about defense, and so aggressive and straightforward whenever you're talking about attacking. Like these guys have worked together, have been a strong core components, and they can rely on their main tank. They can rely on their main support. Like there are no chinks in the armor really. But University of New Haven, the keys to victory coming into this are going to be if they can find something a little bit unorthodox that they could even like slither in somehow to find a victory.
And I'm inclined to agree with you. However, like I think Havoc has like a major downfall in their aggression. So if University of New Haven is one of the teams we've seen play a little slower. I don't know if they're playing a little slower because they're still ramping up, they're still getting up to that level, or if because it's intentional. So if they make that kind of their style, like a slow brawl, and wait for Havoc to make a mistake, I think Havoc will definitely give them the opportunity at some point. Um, you just got to play it nice and slow. But coming up in here, we're gonna do our pre-match interviews. So everyone, give a warm welcome, please, as we're gonna be pulling in boat name for the starter here. Welcome, 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 boat name. How's it going, my friend?
Pretty good. We're having some heated discussions. Some people on the team, not naming any names, have just learned about achievements in Overwatch, but it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah, because that's a
Uh,
new thing, right?
Yeah.
brand new feature,
Added this
brand new
month,
patch notes.
actually.
Yeah. So coming into here, what kind of preparations has Havoc been making going into against Union Haven Varsity?
Honestly, I have to hand it to Dacus. He kind of did everything. He actually watched the VOD and did the scouting for us, told us some tips, some strategies, how to approach New Haven, while everyone else kind of just sat back and read what Dacus told us.
Yeah, of course. Dacus being one of those former managers of a team on 413 Esports, he's definitely got a lot of knowledge coming in here. So they're taking the full advantage of that. Red Barrel, you got a question?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's no secret, SS Bone name, that 413 Havoc is definitely up there in the power rankings, and you guys tend to show up every single week. So what would you say is the key to your consistency, and how do you guys continue to bring such aggression and such perfection of play?
We have fun, and when we have fun playing the game, it's actually insane, what it does to your mental, where suddenly you have your DPS doing some, like, risky flank, but that's unexpected. Suddenly the other team, you break up your, like, one-dimensional game plan with your, excited DPS or your excited tanks or your excited supports, whatever. They go for some, creative plays that the enemy just isn't expecting, and we've kind of just got we I don't think there's been more than like one scrim that we've like not had fun. So as we have fun, we develop new strategies, we perfect new strategies, and we're even kind of practicing them at the same time.
Okay, so you have a little bit of a less is more kind of mentality. Whenever you have, all right, the less that we iron out completely is the more room for our DPS, our supports, and even our tank players to make some of their own plays. Is that kind of along the lines?
Yeah, loosey goosey play. It's interesting. It really spices it up.
All right, fair enough. Suspect, do you have anything else for Boat Name?
Yeah, I've got one more for you, a boat name. And coming in here, you're going up against UNew Haven Varsity, a good, solid, mid pack tier team. Some would say, towards the lower end. But there any players on the team that you're really looking out for, or that you kind of like? Oh, this player might be good.
Honestly, Megalodon or the Megalodon, I don't know how exactly he likes to have it or they like to have it. That May was really scary just watching again in their last match where every single time that they started shooting their Rhine with their freeze beam, the Rhine got frozen without fail. And that's just a little bit intimidating to go against. So that's our biggest player to look out for.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys have identified the threats. The Megalodon has been called out. We're waiting for him to make the plays. So if you got nothing else, Barrel, I think Boat Name can go back and settle the discussion about how achievements are not, in fact, new to the game.
I I've got some news for your team, but yes, they can watch the VOD back later if they have any questions. All right, thank you, Boat Name. Go ahead and get ready with your team, man.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so that was SS Boat Name for 413 Havoc. Now we're going to be moving on to Sunday from the University of New Haven.
Welcome, 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 Sunday.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Well, I think it's going pretty well for us, but the real important question is how is it going in UNew Haven Varsity's chats right now?
Going pretty swell. We're feeling pretty good. We're energized, we're hype, and we're ready for this matchup. Should be good.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hey, so we got just a few questions just to start out here, and my first one for you is so it's no easy feat going up against 413 Havoc, as been shown by the rest of the teams in this tournament. So, how have you guys prepared for this particular matchup? Is there anything that we should be expecting today that you can reveal? Anything that you think will really make you get the edge on 413 Havoc?
Yeah, we've done some scouting. We've looked at the VODs and what they've run, and we see their comp, and what, just sticking to what we know and making sure we're playing around that and making sure that we're not playing into their hand too much. We've seen their play style and what they like to play and how they like to play it. So hopefully we have a good game plan around it.
All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and recently a whole bunch of patch changes came out, right? And a whole bunch of buffs. How has that
Yeah.
affected, what you're playing as a team?
It's sort of just modified what we've been playing. I think you guys will see some of that today. It's more of now as the diva player on the team, I get a lot more aggressive with that remake. But other than that, I think it's nothing went through that was too major for us. I think we're gonna stick to what we know, and we're gonna try to do our best doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sounds like a good play.
All right, sir. And final question for you, and then we'll send you off to your team and get this match on the road. Is there anybody that we should be looking out for as casters? Just anyone that you can shout out that you think in this previous preparation that is really going to be shining tonight.
Yeah, our DPS players, the Megalodon and Halen, they always really step up to the occasion. They always really show up when we need them to. So I expect big things out of both of them today.
All right, good stuff, Sunday. Thank you so much for coming in today, and prepare yourself. Get ready with your team. Have a great match.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys. And while we're getting all the teams situated, we are going to be going to a quick 3-minute intermission while we make sure that we get the ads out of the way for you guys so you don't miss any of this exciting, exhilarating gameplay. And in the meantime, we will be right back.
All right, everybody, let's get this show on the road.
All right, man.
Starting soon without delay. Red Bro, what do you expect out of the compositions coming in here?
So taking a look at our first map, Oasis, I can definitely expect a good, I'd say a good variety coming in from the city center portion of the map. However, taking a look at University, uh, definitely going to expect some just straight up brawl, just straight in your face, good mechanical Overwatch. And lastly, finishing up with Gardens, we could see a lot of different variations from double bubble to brawl, even to rush to some extent. Really, that's the one point that I would say that anything's on the table. That's kind of the wild card.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm inclined to agree. And of course, with those recent buffs coming in, just maybe we'll see some new comps. Like UNew Haven mentioned, right? They have some things to change up. What else? What's something else that they've changed up recently? Because I'm seeing some differences in the lineup. I can't quite place it.
Uh, I can say that if you look to the bottom right of the University of New Haven, you'll see that Funny Buns is in for CQ1, and that's something that we haven't seen in the last few weeks. CQ1 being the main tank for University of New Haven for most of this tournament, and seemingly taking that spot is Funny Buns. So we'll have to see what kind of performance and or any other hero swaps that we'll see coming out with that particular pick.
I got it. I got it. I know what's going on here. So Havoc, they play off the cusp, right? They're all about the in the moment. We're gonna adapt as we go. So you New Haven, they have strategized. They have formulated the plan, and now they are coming out with Hog and Ball Torture, and they are just going to confuse the ever loving crap out of Havoc. That's what's coming.
Absolutely. So let me just get this set up, and we are going to be going in.
Absolutely, and we'll see what stage we start on because that will, of course, impact our play a lot. I would like to see if anyone could do that favor for me, Widow Duel. I think that's just some of the most entertaining Overwatch. What do you think?
Absolutely, it's the biggest show of just individual skill, and honestly, it is it's just so much fun to watch because just having one pick in Overwatch is obviously a very important aspect of it. But whenever a Widow gets to not only win the 1v1 but continues to pop off for their team, it's just it's a snowball that never stops, and it's like a car crash, man. You just can't not look.
Absolutely, and of course, coming out here on University first, I don't think we will see a lot of Widowmaker. However, we've seen some Pharah, we've seen a lot of McCree, so there's a lot of options coming in here, and it looks like, as it stands, of course, everything's subject to change. I've been wrong before, but it looks like New Haven's coming out with a Sim TP for the rollout, whereas you know, Havoc sticking to their guns. They're just going as fast as they can with the Lucio speed, all they got, and Quisson on this Reaper pick with McCree. What do you think of that?
So I like this MTP rollout coming out from University of New Haven, and the traditional brawl coming out from Havoc, including the Zarya of all things. Being that they decided to go over the Diva, it's really going to allow them to have a lot more impact as far as just having maybe a single ultimate to win.
Now, walls are coming out on both sides, and they're both trading out. However, one wall a little better than the other. New Haven's backing off. Immortality Field already used, and Funny Buns is very low. They're coming out on the Rhine. He goes down. Sun is putting him the damage. Jumpenny takes out an Islander, and I think that's going to be all throughout as Halen picks off Jumpenny on the side, though. It is still winnable, but, of course, Big Juice popping off at the end. Someone we can always rely on is the support backbone of Havoc as they clutch out and win this first few ticks of control.
Absolutely. It doesn't look like a lot of ultras was really gained for University of New Haven at all, really. Taking a look at the numbers, they're all sub 50%, while Off-White is already close to a Blizzard. That could be absolutely huge. If he can get a little bit of spam, he might be able to engage with that with his team.
Absolutely, and of course, the Megalodon had a great opening wall, but just not enough follow-up on it, and then the repeat wall from Off-White just getting a little more value, so right now, that's a win. But Dacus wins the 1v1, Lucio's dueling it out on the side. That's even better than Widowmaker's. Croissant cleans up the tank line, and that's going to be all she wrote as it's back to the spawn doors for UNew Haven Varsity.
413 Havoc just with the absolutely insane aggression. Dacus and Jumpenny both on the same wavelength, just really collapsing on those walls provided by Off-White. I mean, it is just classic tier 1 Overwatch.
Absolutely. And now they're trying for a different approach. They're coming a little further away from the edge of the map. Probably a good call if Kangaskhan's not going to get past Dacus there. Great mailed. I thought it got eaten, but it apparently didn't. Halen, however, makes up for it. He takes out one, but Jumpenny takes out Halen in return. Big Juice popping off, and Jumpenny finishes it out. That's a 3K for Jumpenny in this fight. 4K. That's 4 kills. Reinhardt's pop off too.
This is a beautiful 4K from Jumpenny. The Shatter to stop any movement from Funny Buns at all. Funny Buns not even getting his Shatter up until this point. Islander just now getting the window, or he might have had that last fight but decided to save it, which was a good call. They will have ultimates coming in from University of New Haven. Let's see how they will be able to get it going. Croissant on the flank with the Reaper, kind of taking care of the high ground. The window does come out from both sides. The wall's kind of blocking out the enemies.
Yeah, and it seems like they're using the mail to engage here, which is a pretty good call to grab into the Blossom. The Immortality Field sustains them though, but not long enough after Jumpenny pins the Immortality Field, a weird kind of tech that apparently Reinhardt's can do. I never knew that. And that's just an alt diff at the end there. I think Havoc just had a really strong performance there on the Brawl, and if I'm UNew Haven Varsity, I'm looking to change something up. What would you change first, Red?
Absolutely. So I've heard theories of Funny Buns being this ball one trick, or not really the one trick, but rather the ball technician of the team. And so I could really see this coming out in Gardens here, just something to either get a lot of funny environmental kills or just something to kind of swing into the back line, take a lot of space in the sense of drawing out a lot of Havoc's attention while the rest of their team just gets to do whatever. But it looks like both teams will opt to stay on their specific brawls, and it's going to be a race to see who can get to the high ground first. With this SimTP rollout coming in from University of New Haven, they might be able to get there first.
Yeah, and Croissant is not actually on this McCree, which is something we haven't really seen before, and Halen has gone to the other mirror and is on the Reaper. So there's a couple swaps that we weren't really expecting coming out here. Jumpenny goes over, instantly gets walled, but the team manages to make it around, and a better wall comes out from Off-White as Fuzzy Buns goes down. Immediately, the Immortality Field is out there to sustain the team, but it's not going to be enough as Croissant takes it out, and there's just a free swing and right in your face. There's not much you can do about that.
Islander really... I don't think I saw Islander's Immortality Field at all. It just looks like that they had to opt off-white, kind of joining the University of New Haven's call to reset. Apparently, is just going to join them in the watery abyss, and hopefully we'll be able to get back in time to their team. Is being taxied by Daxus, so they will be back in time. But it looks like a complete composition swap coming in from University of New Haven, going into that dive double bubble. And we'll have to see if they can break the defense of this point.
Now, I absolutely love this pick. I think when the Brawl's not working, you just gotta swap. You gotta go to something else that might work. And, you know, Dive is a very strong, double bubble, very strong in this meta right now, but not when Croissant takes Megalodon out of the air like that, and then Off-White pops off. Croissant's got 2 in this fight. Off-White 2, oh my goodness, it's a DPS carry. Croissant and Off-White just going kill after kill after kill. I think there's a competition. I want to see it in the chat. Who do you think is gonna get more kills this round? Croissant, Off-White? You decide.
We will have to see, but both are definitely trading blow for blow whenever it comes to that sort of competition. And Croissant on this McCree is just absolutely menacing. The Megalodon will have to be careful with his positioning, making sure to play natural cover and making sure that the stuns do not come out and connect at all.
Oh, and that's a brutal mail to separate the tanks from the DPS line, and it's just not really an opening here. As Halen, however, gets in, takes out Croissant. I think if I'm Halen here, I'm just going to leave, though. Maybe take out Off-White too, but Off-White does eventually find that headshot. That's so annoying. Those pesky Mays, they just really need one lucky shot.
Genghis Khan and Islander are just feeling like, can I play the game, please? Like, I just want to help my team. And then they just get walled off. They get focused, or their team just gets disintegrated before they can play. With 10 seconds left on the clock, University of New Haven's move, it looks like the Funny Buns will go in. The bubble gets absolutely shredded. Jumpenny with the Shatter in the back is going to connect 2, no 3. A grab coming in, and that will seal the noose.
Yeah, it seems like whatever game plan that you came in, if you're New Haven Varsity, you just got to throw it out the window and rewrite the script right now, because in the Brawl matchup, you're not getting through, and in the double bubble matchup, you're not getting through. So maybe it's just one of those control favors, you know, odd ball comps, but at the moment, I think Havoc have a pretty good lock on this. What do you think, Red?
I think that Havoc is just coming out too strong. Like, it's hard to say but the University of New Haven just needs to take a deep breath, get a good grip on what went wrong, and maybe try to even aggress harder than what they're used to. Push themselves past the limits of what they think that they can do, because sitting back on their loins is not going to be able to win them this series.
Yeah, and then we're gonna move over to a 3 minute intermission, but don't forget to follow and stick around because there's more maps to play. And UNew Haven Varsity still in this match, not over until it is over.
And also, we will be at the end of this stream. We have reached the follower of 413 plus, so we will be giving away $41.30 in Blizzard balance coming up at the end of our stream. So make sure to be followed as well as still in the stream at that time for your chance to win. And as well, if you like what you're seeing, guys, and we are trying to reach this organization to as far as it can go. So if you guys want to support us, just drop that Prime sub if you have it, as well as just a regular subscription. It goes a long way to go towards production, as well as giving you even greater Overwatch content in the coming days. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go to our 3 minute intermission. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for the support that we received during our break. I just wanted to shout out a few people for their either Prime subs or regular subs. Captain Creeper, RS Phoenix, and Northern Farah. Thank you so much for the support. And going into this, we are going to be going into King's Row.
Yeah, and I think the support has come in droves. CQ1 is back in the lobby, and that's that Ryan player, the consistent, the main tank that we've had for a long time for this team. Coming in on King's Row, that's exactly where you need it in this brawl matchup. You need that MTD coming out. Jumpenny needs to be stopped.
Entering King's Row.
And another sub coming in from RS Phoenix, just absolutely showering the love. Much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're coming in here. Kings Row tends to be a pretty standard map, but not usually, the standard lineup. We have Off-White sitting in a lot for Bang tonight, kind of opening up, I think, that May pick to them a little bit more. What do you think is the key to success right now if you're New Haven Varsity?
If I'm New Haven Varsity, I need to go back to the fundamentals of Overwatch. Now, I know that sounds a little cliche, but let me explain. So, whenever you're taking a look at a map like King's Row, you just want to make sure that your ability usage and your basic positioning is on point. So, if you need to play fast or play slow, when to take advantage and when you do not have it, it's just basic fundamentals, but it's something that I feel like that University of New Haven can really rally behind and just make sure that their DPS just pop off as much as Off-White and Croissant did on Oasis.
Absolutely. And, we already see that fundamentals coming back when Halen is on this Hanzo pick. I don't know if he's going to stick it, but, that Hanzo Zarya combo, that Grab Dragon, it cuts through beats. It shreds people all the time. The Game Boy, though, looking to throw a little hazard in. That's one of our subs coming in for SS Bodename. He's looking to nom some ults tonight, so let's see who comes out on top.
Absolutely. Starting out as like CQ1 and Sunday on the Ryan Zarya combo. The Megalodon and Halen, just taking some huge damage from University of New Haven. And it looks like they're just trading some blows. The wall does come down. Chumpany being able to find his way out. Immortality
the wall's
down.
traded at this point, but the Immortality for one side is down. So going into this fight, huge advantage, and Havoc is looking to capitalize as they play aggressive here and wipe UNew Haven Varsity back into spawn.
Hey there.
Immortality, such a wonderful ability, but also a curse as well, because it is also the giant raining disc that says, hey, shoot me, and then aggress on me. And you have to be careful to play and give that respect, but also not use it too early.
Absolutely, and they're coming in, they're wrapping long, getting their Hanzo maximum amount of time to do the damage, and it looks like CQ1 is caught in the walls. No luck for him, and Jumpenny wraps for a big 4-man shatter on the back line as he comes in to cleave them apart. The window was used by Big Juice, but that is just fine because they'll have it in time for the next fight. It is a 30-second ultimate, in my opinion.
The Megalodon needs to take a page out of Off-White's book and needs to look at CQ1 and say, I don't want you to play the game. Freeze him infinitely. Get as many walls as possible. I haven't seen a blue wall really dissecting the team first. It's always been an aggression. Oh, excuse me, a red wall. Really dissecting the team as well as Off-White's been able to counter.
Yeah, a great, however, red wall just there as they rotate through Castle. I think I like this rotation. The jump shatter lands 3! The high noon is big though, returning onto Genghis Khan. The Immortality field does in fact sustain them, and Croissant looks to pop off. Halen takes Jumpenny with him though. That could be good if they can get out without staggering too much. They could get a solid re-engage. That is a high charge Zarya looking to melt down the Game Boy, but it's frozen now, and then there's the cleanup through. Unfortunate as it looks like Jumpenny will be able in fact to get back to spawn in time.
Great positioning by Croissant, taking that high ground and knowing that his team was in trouble, popping that zoning high noon that did in fact find Genghis Khan. And Genghis Khan, I believe, had beaten that fight, which might have been able to really swing the fight in the favor of University of New Haven. New Haven needing every single part of their kit in their comp in order to break this defense.
Absolutely, and that's not going to help when the mail comes into your team from this backside, and there's the bomb to split them back out. No kills just right away, but CQ1 finds Big Juice after falling to Croissant. It looks like the team's just going to aggress, and it's back to spawn again. No ultimates used, however, from the side of New Haven Varsity. So a great opportunity to come in here when all they have for Havoc is Shatter and High Noon coming into this fight. So that's a lot of pressure on Jumpenny. Got to land that Shatter. Otherwise, you're going to get grabbed. You're going to get dragged. You're going to get beat and any other combination of ultimates that we can see. There's the window, opens it up. Shatter gets blocked by a Maywall, but a Maywall well placed to deny the ability of the window, that widescreen TV, and there's the grab dragon, takes out one. The disc is used, and now it's a free May ult as it cleans up the rest, and it looks like Cap is finally going to come through for UNew Haven Varsity.
It was a win for UNew Haven Varsity, but however, at what cost? They used practically every ultimate in the book. excluding CQ1, who was able to build his Shatter, and Genghis Khan, who's still sitting on the beat. But they are going to aggress here, see if they can take an early fight against Jumpany, build the wall, breaking up the
UNew
Havoc.
Varsity comes in quickly, and then they come in again with their own wall. After a trade goes out and Halen picks off Off-White, they are looking to snowball this fight. It is 5v6 and they are aggressing, but really, if you take a look, there's someone on the card, so it's only 6v6. It's only Lucio heals up with them. So Jumpany plays this correctly, plays this smart. They can control this space. And there it is. Now we're on this Streets phase, this ever so Zarya Ryan favored Streets phase. So we'll see which one comes out top. The beat, of course, is there. The window goes out first, though, and there's a high noon to follow up on it. There's a lot of damage coming through that window in a hot second, and there goes Lucio, instantly bursted. A huge stun from the tree, lays out CQ1 for Off-White, and then it's just going to be the staggers from here.
And the Megalodon is just trying to delay the inevitable, and the Zarya from Sunday will be taken out as well. Looks like Croissant's getting a little bit over aggressive, and Halen will be able to take him out. If they can regroup, the University of New Haven, that is, in a decent amount of time, they will be able to take a 6v5 here.
Absolutely, but crucially, you know, Havoc has achieved control of this archway, so they do have I have 2 fights minimum before the cat comes through. Grab Dragons is online. That Game Boy is looking to nom it. We're coming through an early wall already, almost splits off Dacus, but the slippery Reddit Lucio has a wall right to get out. There's the mailed and the bomb going around the wall. Beat comes out too to sustain, and that's a lot of ultimates and a lot of force. Jumpany puts down the Shatter. I think everything was dead though. The Game Boy already coming in with the play of the game. Absolute dominance as Croissant just finishes it out.
You know, with this ultimate rotation from Havoc, they really just wanted to take the tempo away from University of New Haven before they had any chance to even use the Grav or Shatter or any ultimate for that matter. They will be taking a top rotation in order to probably get a good positioning for the Dragon, a safe positioning for their Hanzo. A window comes out, but is way up on the high ground. It's like he was placed by University of New Haven, an interesting choice.
Yeah, unfortunately, windows don't work inversely like that, so... Oh, but grabs do when they get eaten like that. Big Shatter, however, lays out 3, and the Dragons is there to follow up. It gets 3 kills off of that massive Shatter. CQ1 showing up for his team when it mattered most. And now it's just the remainders, the Game Boy and Big Juice, trying to sustain on the high ground as long as they can. That mech is getting awfully low, though. However, Big Juice putting in the work to try and keep it up. Now, D.Va, ultimate threat. The new pawn of the game can, in fact, destroy any 200 damage, but Sunday is going to clean it up, and I think this point is, in fact, going the way of New Haven Varsity.
Dacus doing the Lord's Word, taking a lot of time off the clock for 413 Havoc, and Jumpany and Off-White are going to be forced to back up and give as much space as possible so that they are not picked. But Off-White making a seemingly interesting aggression. Jumpany almost going past that wall. Good communication by the team, making sure that he stays with them. All right, and it will be another 6v6. The Megalodon and Off-White both have their mails online, but it looks like both of them will be trying to...
It will be used, but the Game Boy is going to nom Megalodon's ultimate, and that's going to be all she wrote. I think it's going to be a quick back to spawn for the side of New Haven. A close fight so far, but I think the real root of the problem for Havoc is their ultimate aggression. They use their ultimates all together. They press 4 Qs at once, and then the next fight, the other team presses 4 Qs, and they get a point. So I think it's really showing how favored the offense is in this matchup. What do you think, Red?
Unfortunately, I do think that it is a game of feet instead of inches in this sort of situation. Jumpany hitting into absolutely massive Shatter. The bomb comes above their head, and that'll be it. That'll be a wipe, and that'll be a reset for University of New Haven. But going back to what I was saying, it is absolutely. You have to make big strides in order to get back, because it feels like an inch forward, 2 steps back kind of situation whenever you don't use that many ultimates.
Yeah, of course, however, Croissant getting that early pick on Islander might just secure this. There's the grab. It is, in fact, big, but the Dragon gets eaten from Halen, and that's not going to be enough follow-up, especially when there is, in fact, an Immortality field to sustain them. The mail comes out, another mail from Off-White as a beat to sustain from Genghis Khan. It's just a little bit too late. He is going to be the last Lucio left to lie. CQ1 out, duels Jumpany though and lands the Shatter. Not going to be enough to touch the point.
An unfortunate timing for University of New Haven. However, they were able to regroup and they were able to take that first point, which allowed them to get a lot farther than what it looks like they were projected in order to get. So if I'm the University of New Haven, I'm happy with that push against a monstrous team like 413 Havoc, who's known for their King's Row.
Yeah, of course, and we're coming out very soon on our offense. It'll be interesting to see how well of a defense that University of New Haven can really put up here. You know, CQ1 definitely seems to be getting the better of this Ryan duel right now. Jumpenny does not seem to be looking very good. But, you know, the ultimate rotation just needs to get a little bit better. Both teams, you know, spending 4 ultimates per fight to get the win is not really going to be a sustainable way of ult economy. Really not a good look for, you know, WV, sorry, for not W, but for 413 Havoc. You know, they're coming out here. They're supposed to be the favorites. The S tier, right? S tier has to mean something. I think they're really not rotating their ults like an S tier team. That said, you know, they're coming in against UNew Haven Varsity, so there is an opportunity. You know, UNew Haven Varsity shows us that they belong in a higher tier, and they come out with some good ultimate rotation and some good damage. What do you think, Red?
I think that if University of New Haven can secure this point, if they can hold them right here, the final stand, the final line, it'll be infinitely harder to hold Havoc on the streets fights just because of that snowballing potential. Now we'll have to see what the time bank looks like, but the wall will come down.
Very good initially. The pin, however, from Jumpenny, pinning back to his team and takes out Genghis Khan for the road. And that is going to be 1 down already, 2 down as CQ1 falls again, and the lamp is just there for good measure. Another wall from Megalodon does not get the desired effect, but he is going to stall the point for at least another 2 seconds. And that looks to be a very swift point A cap.
And you see, if you look at 413 Havoc, they aren't doing anything particularly flashy, I'd say. I mean, there are some rotations, of course, but those are more like choices rather than crazy out there plays. Now, I know that in the pregame interview, we were taking a look from SS Boat Name that, you know, they kind of don't really plan around much, but taking a look at this, it just looks like they are playing as synergistically as possible.
Absolutely, and it helps when Halen pops off and cleans out 3 in a pre-engage like that. Absolute beast as Halen comes in already with the dragon, and that's going to be, you know, just as fast as Jumpenny's Shatter. Not usually something we see build as quickly as, say, a Shatter of a winning Reinhardt. A great play from Halen as the Megalodon also comes up with his ultimate, so now we could be looking, you know, you see a freeze combination, give your Zarya enough time to build that ultimate, a high ropes rotation when the cart hasn't even left. I think this is a little bit of folly coming out. They're going on this long rotation, looking to take a defender's point, but the cart's not going to move at all. The May wall doesn't get the value they're looking for. The window goes up, but the big shatter lays out 3. The lamp is going to sustain them for an extra second. The Mail gets eaten, though, as Jumpenny is going to cleave through and get that damage, and the Croissant and Off-White are going to follow up and get those kills. But the cart didn't move that entire time. For the record, I think that was a little bit of a misplay from Havoc. They didn't really get a whole lot of cart push, and they're going to have maybe 2 to 3 fights now on this second point.
They committed window and shatter to that fight. And, I mean, they still have a lot of their major ults here in order to take space, but you're absolutely right that they didn't get as much cart push as they probably should have, and they're only sticking 2 to 3 on when it really should be a 3 push as much as possible.
However, Off-White's lining up for this May ult right now, and it comes down hard, but CQ1 already picks off Jumpenny, and Croissant is already set up on the flank for the high noon as he's going to take out 2. Sunday takes out Croissant, but it's just not going to be enough. Not enough damage against the rising tide that is Havoc.
I think if you're
Sunday
Havoc,
is looking to get staggered here. It's bad.
it's real bad. If you're taking a look at Havoc right now, you're wanting 3 on so you can just get the point and just get it in so you can get that new spawn point, get a new place of attack. I mean, it doesn't look like University of New Haven is that close, but they might have enough time if they don't get the point right now. All right.
Off-White getting that wall, stopping the CQ1 from getting it the rest of the way. There is a shatter here for both Reinhardts. They're looking to go back and forth, and Megalodon is already down. Jumpenny goes past the shield and lands out 2 as Off-White finishes off CQ1, and I think that might be all she wrote if they're not quick about it. There's the grab, and there's the dragons, but there's a lamp to sustain. Sunday picks out Zach. He's the last man alive, determined to put this team in the backpack, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think anyone's going to get to the touch. Maybe one sparse Reddit Lucio, but the bomb is not going to make that easy either, as it looks like 413 Havoc is coming in here for the clutch.
Victory.
Yeah, Havoc really just blowing through that defense from University of New Haven.
Play of
And
the game.
let's see how Jump Penny performed in this play of the game.
Absolutely, this flank shatter gets the most amount of value you could ever hope from one's flank shatter. You know, they thought they had isolated the team, no more Reinhardt in the front line, but Jumpenny flips the script, goes around the corner, and then shatters them from behind. Fantastic play from Jumpenny's part.
What a crazy game, man. I mean, both teams just trading ultimates like crazy, but in the end, Havoc did end up getting out on top. And with that being said, I think it's time. Uh, I think it's time that we.
Take, you know, our regular scheduled 3-minute intermission. We're going to come back and we're going to give UNew Haven a chance to, you know, collect themselves, review, and come in just as hard as they were when they first came in. You know, they said they were going to come out with something we didn't expect, and I'm waiting to see it, UNew Haven. I believe in you. Come at us with all you got. And in the meantime, don't forget to prime, sub, follow. We're going to give that giveaway away, so stick around afterwards, and I'll see you on the other side of this break. Alrighty, everybody, we're coming in here to Route 66 for our last map. And Red Barrel, dude, tell me about these roster changes that you're humming and hewing about in the intermission.
Yeah, so coming in from Havoc, we are actually going to have SS Boatname, which we saw before in the first round of Oasis, but it looks like SS Boatname and Dak Gameboy, both the off-tank players, are going to be in for the tank slots, as well as Croissant and Off-White will keep their DPS roles, that's fine, and then Adams K and Catgirl Emily are going to be coming in for supports. Kind of an unorthodox lineup, to say the least. But we will see how it affects them coming in as we jump into Route 66.
Yeah, now, of course, there's a lot of options here if you're coming out from Havoc. They have, this long lineup of players that, of course, we can see now. But, SS Boatname, a well-known ball main, grinded one tricking all the way to Platinum just on ball. So he's going to be a scary player to come in here against if he's going to be on your main tank role. And of course, it could hint that Havoc's wanting to run some more unorthodox compositions. That said, do you think that Havoc's kind of like sleeping, kind of laying back? Yeah, we'll field our bench. UNew Haven, we're rolling them. Do you think they're sleeping on UNew Haven?
I think they are sleeping on UNew Haven. I think that it's just too good to be true. Like whenever we see them both playing off roles and then they suddenly switch. Now, granted, whenever you take a little map like Route 66, now we will see from the defense coming out from Havoc that they are going to be running a little more dive focus. So Dak Gameboy is going to be providing that Zarya. SS Boatname is going to be giving us that Winston, which maybe is their specialty. Maybe whenever you take a look at someone like Jump Penny, it's just more of a Rhine focused player. But I think the addition of Adams K and Catgirl Emily is definitely interesting to say the least.
Absolutely, I'm inclined to agree. And I think if you're New Haven Varsity, you take this switch and you're like, okay, that's fine. Here we come. We're taking a map now. Don't drop the disrespect. Here we come. Of course, Monkey and Ball have similar play styles to an extent, so Boatname could be very familiar and a very good dive artist here. We'll see how it plays out, and it looks like the posture phase is getting underway as the cart rounds this first bend.
And the engage does come in from SS Boatname, the dash for coming in, and it just looks like an exchanging of lots of abilities, but it looks like a lot of the picks are actually going towards University of New Haven. Halen just cleaning out the dive. No real support coming in from Havoc. They are forced to retreat.
Absolutely, and even with that early pick coming in from Off-White on that Doomfist pick that we saw him pop off so hard on in the last match, it was not enough, and Halen was just able to clean up with the help of CQ1 on a counter dive and remove the DPS. Now Croissant and Off-White both make the swaps, go to that Echo and Free in a full mirror now, and we'll see how they can fare. This is exactly what you want to see if you're New Haven Varsity coming in, and they're making that dive on the Ana. The Ana gets the bubble. The bubbles are exchanged, and all the teams are doing a lot of damage. SS Boatname takes the hit, though, and he's going down. Halen popping off, takes out Croissant as well. Off-White's in the back line, though. He's finally clutched out that Ana. Now it's back to the front line. And Catgirl Emily is just making that run for it, trying to stay alive for as long as they can. Sunday trades out that Game Boy, but Off-White takes out 3, and now that's a 4 for him in this fight alone. He's doing Halen, not someone to be underestimated, though.
SS Boatname really wanting to make a lot of these aggressive plays, as with Havoc we've seen the entire series, but unfortunately the aggression is just met with a little from University of New Haven, just because we see SS Boatname go into the backline, drop his bubble, and just gets bursted immediately. It doesn't look like any follow-up is really coming in.
Absolutely, and Adams K gets bursted out of the ultimate. There's no more raid boss available, but Croissant trades back on the Megalon. Halen, however, removes Boatname from the equation. Pulls that Deadeye perhaps a little bit early, but gets the damage on. CQ1 is going to finish it out. That Nano Monkey so strong in this composition, and Off-White is going to fall. There's a Primal into it too, and they says, you're not getting out the Game Boy. I have had enough of you Nominar ults. It's time for you to feel the thunder.
Yeah, Dak Game Boy, of course, under the Zarya, but if I remember correctly, he was able to get about 4 ultimate eats on King's Row. If it was 2 freezes, a grav, and was something else, or maybe it was 3 freezes in total. I don't have the exact
I believe it was a Dragons he picked up too, but yeah, of course, the Game Boy on a role that we don't usually see him on, but Zarya, D.Va, kind of similar playstyles at the end of the day. We'll see how it goes. There's the tube onto the Monkey as they come out in the back line, trading tubes on the Monkey. There's that rally that Adamskate never really got off, and the sleep on the duped monkey in the back line, and it seems like Genghis Khan is not looking to give this up easily. There's a primal and a high noon on the high ground. Nanos come out as well. Lots of damage going around, lots of ultimates, lots of monkeys, all very angry about stuff, but Off-White gets the better of it, takes out 3 in that fight. Croissant finishes off Halen, and it looks like that's all she wrote for Q1.
Taking a look at the ultimates coming in from the next fight, it looks like Sunday will have the Graviton Surge online as well as that Game Boy, and nothing else really to speak of except for Halen's High Noon, which could prove to be instrumental in breaking open this defense if positioned properly.
Absolutely, and of course, there's a very early grab, a long-range grab, getting a lot of damage in immediately as the Megalodon cleans out 2-3 there for the Meg. Croissant finishes him off eventually, but that's going to be a lone free against 5 other players. That's not a duel I really want to take, as CQ1 finishes off Adamskate and Croissant, 2 people that generally make monkeys not want to play the game.
Just click heads, forehead, and only take you so far whenever you can only do so much damage. But Croissant will be forced to regroup with his team. Coming back, that Game Boy still has that Graviton. Will possibly be able to make it through this tunnel. CQ1 trying to body block.
They're looking to give a little bit of an edge to Off-White as they move over to the Mercy pick. Megalodon, however, showing his promised appearance is Sunday, looking for them to show up, and he is showing up right now. The Meg takes out one, Halen another, and Islander finishes off onto the newly swapped over Mercy. A CQ1 just takes a little nap. Guess who's sleeping on who now?
Yes, they are actually moving on to the indoors phase. Now, I'm interested to see if University of New Haven doesn't swap after using a bunch of these ultimates, because inside of this, there's only a limited range of mobility that you can make going up against these comps. But if, I guess...
Now there's the Graviton, SS Boatname cleaning it up. Game Boy has been holding it for a long time, and now they use it and they finally get the kind of value they're really hoping for. Lots of ultimates still online from both sides, however. And Islander crucially getting very close to this Rally. Rally happens to be a very strong ultimate at the moment. We'll see who can get the best. And I think if you're, New Haven, yeah, at this point it's a little bit better for Brawl, but in all honesty, you've been kind of rolling them on this double bubble comp, so I wouldn't change a thing.
I'd have to agree. I think that even with the limitations of it, I mean, if you're on your comfort picks, you play it out.
Absolutely, and now there's a duplicate and a high noon coming out from a double high noon coming out from the side of Havoc as the Megalodon is on a mission. He gets bursted out of his duplicate form. The primal dupe is not enough, and there's the nano on the monkey. However, an angry Brigitte is there to stun him up and beat him beside the head. Megalodon finishes him off. That echo damage is so strong with that laser. And Halen pops off the Game Boy, so it's going to be a fight looking seamlessly to go to University of New Haven. And the Megalodon just continues to get these picks rolling. That's a lot of damage coming out, a lot of value coming out from Megalodon. What do you think, Brett?
The Megalodon is absolutely doing a lot of follow-up with Focusing Beam coming out from his Echo, being able to find a lot of good picks and a lot of good finishes as well, finishing off a lot of the core aspects of 413 Havoc. The dupe comes in and will be trying to take on SS Boatname, but just jumps out, just kind of brushes it off, and CQ1 will pop his Primal Rage.
There's a double monkey primal on the point. There's a grab out as well. Megalodon takes out the Cat Girl Emily, but SS Boatname cleans up too. That's huge damage coming out from inside of the grab to Game Boy. Zarya diff Sunday there for a moment, and Megalodon finishes off SS Boatname, but not enough. Too close to the end. However, 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. I think the keys to success are in both teams' favor right now. However, an ult bank accumulated for the side of Havoc.
So many angry monkeys. You'd think this would be Planet of the Apes, man. Like, this is absolutely outstanding. But good choices of the dupe targets. I'd like to see a Zarya in the mix as well, just to kind of limit some of the mobility even more.
Of course, and a quick grasp of the high ground, a long-range grab, catches 4 in the backline, and a huge pulse from Off-White deletes the competition.
Well, that was a quick fight. And
yes, seamless transition, a perfect ult combination coming out from the side of 413 Havoc.
And they still have a good amount of ultimates. SS Boatname is sitting on his Primal Rage as well as Croissant on his High Noon. Genghis Khan and Halen with a matching High Noon. We'll have to see what they can do.
Yeah, of course. And now there's the Nano Monkey going into the back line, and then one Monkey dies on the other. There is a break to contest one, though. However, that doesn't help when Croissant's going to take away your Ana. That's the bulk of the healing gone for UNew Haven Varsity. Boatname is in your back line. He's tearing it up. He's an Angie Monkey, and Off-White pops Halen in the ultimate. Halen was not able to get near only a single pick. The res is there to clean it up as well. I don't think any of the stalls is going to be able to touch, and I think that's where this push is coming to its end.
University of New Haven with a very
Score.
taking it all the way to the third section of Route 66, and we've seen a couple of the teams just get full held on the first point. So props to them, honestly. And now it's up to their defense to see if they can outmaneuver and outskill what I assume is going to be another double bubble coming out from 413 Havoc.
Yeah, I think making those swaps kind of limits their ability to change their roles, and they're going to be stuck on this double bubble, which honestly I don't think is a very good look for them. I think it worked on the inside because ultimate rotation ended up favoring them, and that's exactly kind of what we were looking to see out of them from that King's Row experience, where they kind of just lobbed ults all over the place. But that said, I don't think if you don't have the cooldown management, then I think this map's going to go the way of UNew Haven Varsity.
Just letting you guys know that, again, we have already met our 413 follower goal for this stream, so be sure to stick to the end of our stream. That's going to be where we are giving away $41.30 in Blizzard Cash, and you must be following and watching the stream at that time in order to enter, so be sure to stick by for that.
And of course, drop us a Prime sub or a sub of any kind, and catch the load of the next stream where we will be coming up with very soon a new kind of giveaway system. Coming out here, the only real difference in these compositions is the Halen McCree versus the Off-White Tracer, a duel I would like to see Halen win 9 times out of 10, and the Islander Brig against the Adam-esque Mercy. So, of course, there's a little bit of help for Off-White in the sky, probably something or for Croissant in the sky, my mistake. But the Megalodon doesn't need the help. He says, no, that's fine. You can have a break, an extra stun. The Tracer doesn't get to play the video game, and we just win this outright off our cooldowns. And like I said, Halen, 9 times out of 10, gonna win that duel. The Game Boy, however, finds the Brigitte, but it's not gonna be enough as Halen pops off another one, and Megalodon finishes it out on SS Boatname. Adam-esque very close to death, gonna be cleaned up, and the Meg is making his mark.
The Megalodon just putting out insane amounts of damage, while Halen just gets to get those surgical kills onto the DPS of 413 Havoc. Croissant and Off-White are pivotal parts of this composition, and if they go down, especially early with their ultimates online, it can mean disaster for Havoc.
Absolutely, and Croissant getting really close to this ultimate here. The duplication could be exactly what they need to get through, but he's 8 HP and he needs healing desperately. The Megalodon is in your backline. He bursts both supports down for the sides of Havoc, and CQ1 is on a rampage. He's got the Nano. He's going ham. That Game Boy is short-term lifespan at this rate. However, CQ1 has to jump out. My mistake. CQ1 gets healed up. They're focusing down on SS Boatname, and he's got to jump out as well. And now it's aggression time. Push these low HP monkeys.
Yeah, both monkeys able to get out there, which is not what you really want to see. You want to be able to burst those monkeys out and at least stagger them for sure, especially when you have SS Boatname just sitting under the gas station.
Absolutely, and there's that grab, but a secondary monkey comes out, so it's all okay. There's another monkey again on Catgirl Emily in the back line, and this one's gonna have his primal range up a little bit faster. There's the primal, gets the kill, and now it's the Meg in your back line like he has been all game long, going for those boops. He does cancel the res. He does in fact manage to pull it off, and he gets the bubble to get out, so there's an awful lot of sustain going on. There's the break rally, difficult to get through. A grab in return on the Dupe Zarya, not going to last very long in this life. After Megalodon takes out Off-White, there's just not enough damage to really sustain, and Islanders is going to make life for SS Boatname very difficult. Brigitte equals no fun time.
This is looking hugely in the favor of University of New Haven. Like, the Megalodon and Halen are absolutely coming into play right now. Halen sitting on the high noon, as well as Genghis Khan sitting on the nano boost. I could easily see an CQ1 getting set up for a nano boost here, and then as well as Halen following it up with a zoning high noon to make sure that his monkey is able to get out.
Absolutely, and I'm really, I could watch Halen play all day. This man does not seem to miss his shots. He pops one of the monkey as he jumps over, but Boatname just bursts that on us so quickly. The stuns come up. but it's just not going to be enough. The damage is finally there as that monkey dive has found its purpose. The Primal's in the back line looking to get a little bit of value in, but there's a Reaper swap from Croissant that's going to make it very difficult for any monkeys to have any fun. There's the high noon, but I think it's just an ultimate discipline is what's going on. As Halen picks out one, though, on the end, that's a little bit of style points. Almost takes out Adamesk as well, but Boatname is there to clean him out. Halen definitely leaving his mark, making sure nobody trifles him and making sure Croissant does not get over-aggressive on this Reaper pick.
They're actually swapping to their preferred DPS for their Brawl comp, but in this sort of situation does work in their favor with Off-White being able to just snipe the Megalodon out of the sky, as well as Croissant just being able to deal so much damage to CQ1.
Big High Noon coming out, looking to pop off that Primal Monkey from the sky. Megalodon is in your backline again. He seems to live in the backline. He has slept, however, so not only does he live there, he also sleeps there. Kangaskhan pops off Off-White, and that's going to be all she wrote, as I think this push dies. And there's a map going to UNew Haven Varsity. And we got ourselves a game.
We got ourselves a game. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's take a look at the play of the game from Off-White on the Tracer.
An absolutely outrageous pulse bomb, I'm sure, as they come into this massive four-man grab. Whoop, there you go. Boom, and the kill feed lights up, and the crowd goes wild as Off-White shows up. No matter how poorly it looks, it still pops off.
Oop, there it is, coming in from Off-White. And, yeah, we got ourselves a series. 2-1 in favor of Havoc right now, but don't go away. And before, while we're on intermission, be sure to join us at 413 Esports. We like to foster a whole bunch of new teams, and we like to make all of these players into the best that they can be. And 413 Havoc, obviously being one of our teams, and it just goes to show that we know how to play Overwatch. So come check us out. Come join us on Discord, and follow our Twitter and Instagram. And other than that, we will go to our 3-minute intermission. Don't go away.
Alrighty, everybody, and we're back, and we're coming in for Hanamura for our 4th map in the series. Of course, UNew Haven making a very good showing on Route 66. Definitely taking it to Havoc, saying, you cannot sleep on us. That said, Havoc has responded. They have put in Jump Penny for SS Boatname, put in Dacus for Adamesk, and they've put in Big Juice for Catgirl Emily. And of course, that is your A line. That is the starting lineup. And I think this is the team that's really about to bring it home for Havoc. That said, could the momentum for UNew Haven Varsity pull over into this next match and just continue to dominate Havoc?
I mean, UNew Haven now has the momentum. They found something that works, and even if they're not practiced on it, they might want to continue using this double bubble strategy and kind of convert it into any way possible that could work. Because I feel like the straight up brawl just is not working in their favor. But Hanamura being a very special map in the way that it is played, we see a lot of sim TPs either straight onto the point or to any direction. So Symmetra being a very popular pick here, or we see just some straight up brawls that just battle at the choke. But you could also make this into a dive centered anything. So there's a lot of options for University of New Haven, either attacking or defending, and I'm interested to see what they have up their sleeve.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see if Havoc can take back the reins, as I believe we're going to start this matchup. And remember, while we're starting up, don't forget, if you like this match, there's tons of Overwatch coming your way in the next 5 weeks. Absolutely insane gameplays and pulse bombs even bigger than the one from Off-White today. All you got to do is hit that follow, give us a sub, and check it out when we come back again. When is it, Red? When is it, Red? Oh, Red Barrel? I'm tripping over my words.
Potatoes versus Ascent tomorrow. Potatoes versus Ascent.
Absolutely. Should be a close, fun game.
10 p.m. EST. Okay. Excuse me. Charger Blue at Bad at Overwatch is going to be tomorrow, and then we'll see Ascent and Potatoes later this week.
Absolutely.
On Sunday at 10 p.m.
On Sunday at 10 p.m. Thank you, Red Barrel. Of course, our analyst coming in here with all the great knowledge in his head. Thank God, because I cannot keep that in my mind. And it looks like they're sticking to this double bubble comp on the offense here. I don't mind it, but I think Croissant is going to have something to say about it with this Reaper pick.
Absolutely. I mean, the Reaper pick coming out from Havoc is not something that we haven't seen before. And it looks like Jumpini is actually wanting to get something, either a cheeky fire strike at the beginning here, but it looks like his team is posturing kind of forward, maybe just to get some early damage. Jumpini getting 19%, 20% ult charge coming out of the door might be absolutely huge. So Symmetra TP coming up to the top right will get booped by Dacus. They'll need to rethink their strategy here.
And Halen gets booped twice, so he is separated from the team and closed in upon by Game Boy and Dacus, who have epic synergy in that dive, that 2-man dive on the lone McCree. Not really the game you want to have to start it off. The Megalodon moves back off the Symmetra over to this Echo pick. What do you think about that?
I do think that the Echo pick is going to allow a lot of great damage, either coming in from shield break or just finding any good picks and using that focusing beam to take them out. But Off-White will be able to find Sunday, and if I'm University of New Haven, I am backing up all the way to the spawn. If Jumpini makes a decision to go forward here, they can find a lot of major picks. CQ1 kind of going on a solo dive there, and Jumpini's kind of caught out behind, or in front of the choke, excuse me. But both teams kind of making interesting decisions here. Nothing's really happening.
An absolutely spectacularly fast nano onto CQ1 as he dives in the backline, gets insane amount of damage off, but the shatter is there and lays out two. Halen with the high noon has been walled off. He drops it, pulls the trigger, and he goes in on deck. Game Boy's face takes him out at the knees. Off-White next. Halen is on a tear right now, pulling apart the pieces of Havoc. However, Croissant, Jump Penny there to stabilize. Of course, these are your A-line. These are who you bring in when stuff starts going wrong, and they are proving why they are in.
Yeah, the Megalodon is coming up on that copy very, very soon. And what do you think would be a good selection for that copy onto this particular?
I think with that new buff to D.Va, you'd be looking to do that. However, Reaper is the copy that we see, and that is, of course, a great one if he's confident he can play it. Off-White takes an Islander in the backline, though. That's not very helpful. The beat is there to sustain the entirety of Havoc as they just aggress onto this core that is UNew Haven Varsity. Oh, but Megalodon's in the back line. Both your supports are dead. Oh, but Kangaskhan Khan eats the dust in the end, and I think there will be enough time for them to come back to this fight.
CQ1 and Sunday opting to swap to the Brawl tanks that Reinhardt and Zarya, and it looks like the Megalodon is going to go on to the Reaper to challenge Off-White and Croissant. This is going to be a duel definitely to watch, but it looks like UNew Haven is going in with 4.
And it looks like, according to some technical difficulties, Croissant has, in fact, had a little bit of a DC, so we're going to take a quick pause, and we'll move into a short intermission here as we sort out some technical difficulties. In the meantime, Red Barrel, what do you think about this composition that we see coming out from UNew Haven Varsity? A little unorthodox with the Brig and the Ana, not really what we're used to seeing with the Lucio and the Bat, but what are the differences there?
So taking a look at the composition, the Ana and the Bappas obviously just holds over from their attempt at the dive, which didn't quite work. But I guess they assumed that the ultimates are just way too much to let go. Um, Getting Nano onto CQ1 in order to break through the choke is not necessarily a bad play, as well as enabling some of the DPS. Sunday with the Zarya still going to have a huge grab advantage coming in, and with Croissant going out of the game, he will lose any ult charge that he had as well. So it might actually be in UNew Haven's UNew Haven's court just to have the ultimate advantage in this next fight.
Absolutely, and a very easy play to get taken apart, though, of course, as that Game Boy has full DM charge right now. He's ready to eat any Graviton that comes out from Sunday, and he's not quite there yet with the grab. So we'll see if they can make a play with this May ult and bomb in this 5v6 fight before UNew Haven Varsity can really capitalize on their advantage. Now, of course, Red Barrel, what if I wanted to play on Havoc tomorrow? Could I do that?
Well, you wouldn't be able to quite just jump onto Havoc, but what you could do is you could join us at 413 on our Discord, and if you wanted to, you could be designated as a tryout. And from there, you would go through our tryout program, and through determined number of tryouts for you, depending on how you did, you would get placed into our academy program. And so from there, you can either go one of two routes. You might be scouted out by one of our teams that would like to pick you up because you're just the star and you're making yourself a name, or you could just start your own team from your fellow academy members. And if you get enough of a full 6-man roster, you could start your own team, starting with the 413 name.
Absolutely. And you're telling me I can go out with my friends and maybe like start my own team with the 413 organization?
Absolutely. So if you already have like a team that you have fully set, all you need to do is contact us, and then we will get that arrangement done in such a way that you can get into our 413 umbrella and then take advantage of all the perks that come along with that, as well as entrance into one of these tournaments as well, given that you meet the qualifications.
What if I don't feel like my play is really adequate yet? Is there coaching provided at 413 Esports?
Absolutely. We have plenty of great coaches, as well as just some high ranking members that would be more than happy to take a look at your gameplay, as well as just kind of play some games with you. And, it's a very casual or serious environment. We are very adaptable in any way that you would see fit in order to play this wonderful video game.
Awesome. I think I should go right on over. How should I get a hold of you guys?
So, if you see him down in our Twitch, we should have our Twitter as well as our Instagram posted there, and then you should be able to find the link onto our Discord, as well as onto our YouTube channel, which is 413e.com/YouTube, and there are links all over in order to find our Discord page, and then you'll be able to access us, and then just once you join, you'll be able to go through the short little integration process, and then from there you'll be all set, good to go.
Absolutely. It sounds awesome to me. Now, if I'm coming into this match and I'm jump penny and I'm landing shatters like that, where do you think you can find the shatters later on? I'll tell you
So
where. The
go right ahead.
Instagram page. They're all over it. So check us out on Instagram. You'll see the awesome plays. You'll see the standings, and you'll see, the games we're coming into with every week. We have more games, more takes, more plays every single week. It is nonstop over here at 413 Esports. And Red and I guarantee you we'll have some plays up there by tomorrow.
By tomorrow, my man, I'd say within the next hour, and we're gonna be casting.
Absolutely. Sounds fun to me. And if you guys are interested in casting like we are, that can happen at 413 too. Man, it sounds like 413 is just a place where dreams come true.
It is kind of a dreamland wonderland type situation. All right, taking a look at the rest of the teams here, it looks like Jump Penny from Havoc is saying that they are ready to go, but they're trying to determine if Croissant will be back.
Of course, technical difficulties is something that 413 Esports cannot control and do not condone. Get better internet. That's only a joke, of course. But I think it's only a power outage, so it looks like we will have to have some kind of sub coming in. Who do you think it's going to be, Red Barrel?
So I can kind of look into the future and say that I mean they're trying to put in one of their tank lineups, which I'm sure is going to be very very focused on the DPS and their off roll time. But I don't know if it's going to be able to replace Croissant in this sort of lineup. Like this is down to all the marbles, man. This isn't the end of this could be the end of the series. 413 Havoc taking it away, but University of New Haven is on the attack and is on the front. All right.
And I think we're going to go to a brief intermission as some of these internet conditions are sorted out. But stay tuned and follow if you think you can have a place here at 413, because I guarantee you we have a place made for you already. our issues are on their way out. We can start up very soon, as it seems a sub has come in now officially. A little bit of clearance had to go through the OCS staff, of course. We're very serious, and we take this game very seriously. We want the best for everybody, and we don't want anyone to feel cheated out of their wins or losses. So coming in for a replacement, as we officially cannot get a hold of Croissant at the moment, will be SS Boatname, our tank player. However, he is within the SR maximum, if not perhaps a little bit lower. But I think this will be an interesting match going into this. SS Boatname on the Reaper, trying to fill that role that Croissant so often does hold. The Shatter comes out, lays out Sunday. I don't know if it'll be enough though. The counter pin on the bomb, but it is going to find Sunday nonetheless. And the freeze comes out on CQ1. It is a very staggered fight right now in the front line, but it looks like the Game Boy is going to have the ability to clutch it up and focus down these targets. As this Boatname returns on the Reaper pick. Now, what do you think coming out here from UNew Haven Varsity Red Barrel?
So if we remember the last fight before it started, before the technical difficulties, we saw a 4-man push with I believe the Zarya and the Reaper being left behind. So they need to push at 6 if they want to get any ground onto this map. The grab comes out onto Jumpenny. CQ1 just swinging into the Jumpenny, who was in the Immortality field, but will go down. And it just looks like they're just getting picked off one by one by University of New Haven.
The Game Boy is Mac getting taken away from him. The window is out to deal a little bit of extra damage, and an angry Baby Diva is shooting through it, but I don't think that's going to be enough. But Lucio's kind of sneaking out here on the side, but he's going to get pinned and flattened quickly by CQ1, who takes the point. And it looks like UNew Haven Varsity have found their opening, and they're taking full advantage of it. The Shatter's online for CQ1, but it's going up against Off-White's Mailed, so it's going to be a difficult fight. What do you think, Red Barrel?
I think that there's not really any ultimates except for Off-White's freeze to be used, and the freeze can be a nice freezing of the momentum here, but the wall does come down onto CQ1, and it looks like it'll be used straight into the middle of the University of New Haven team. I think that that's a beautiful dissection by Off-White, a beautiful ultimate placement, and Sunday and the rest of the University of New Haven varsity team will have to reset.
Absolutely. That Game Boy still out of mech here. He's 84% to getting it back to 90. Now he's got that remech. Maybe saving it for a safer location to do it. An intelligent gameplay already coming out from the Game Boy. Now they come back into this. Dacus is coming very close to this beat. And if you're, UNew Haven Varsity, you're in one of these situations where maybe it's just time to bank 6 ultimates. That Game Boy playing on this low ground, of course, as Divas can do. They eat that Fire Strike, and they're taking this rotation here around the side. Not a bad call, but perhaps a little bit over-eager. The Maywall can still cut them off when they come out here. Maywall cuts off 2. The McCree is on the wrong side of it, but the Diva mech is gone. The Shatter comes out and lays them out as Jumpenny making the plays to sustain the team right now. Not going to be enough. The beat to sustain, but the Shatter comes out, lays out 2. There's a high noon on high ground. Halen I didn't even see that rotation. He gets the 3K! Megalodon pops off and takes out SS Boatname as well. And now the Game Boy is waiting for the stall. Hiding in the wings. He's ready. He flies in. He jumps over the Ryan pin. Is it going to be enough to sustain for very long, though? Halen pucks off Off-White. And this is a staggered out fight. There's a grab and the Reaper ult to clean this up quickly, though. And a minute 30 is the time bank for UNew Haven Varsity.
UNew Haven capping both points, which I don't think they've even full pushed a map in this series quite yet. So this is a beautiful turning point for University of New Haven.
Absolutely, absolutely. A great point in time if you're going to be University of New Haven coming out here. And it'll be interesting to see if they stick on this on a Brig comp. I think they got a lot of value out of Brig on that rally. But at the end of the day, it's kind of really risky not running without a Lucio beat to sustain. So we'll see in about 5 seconds as these comps unlock, and I am excited. A big Rhine duel is going on right now as CQ1 faces off against Jumpenny, and it looks like they're going for the Ana Lucio. Ana Lucio, of course, great composition. What are you thinking about that, Red?
So it's interesting because that they're opting to forego the Baptiste, which can really save a lot of in the particular rank that we are playing at. This isn't particularly Grandmaster and or top 500 play. So whenever you're taking a look at these players, it's really a good get out of jail free card whenever you're able to save a good portion of your team with one ability. I mean, it's just very strong. But the utility from Ana cannot be denied. Being able to deny healing onto any of these heroes, such as Boatname's Reaper, could mean the difference between a kill and someone getting out alive.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're opting for this sim TP play, and one we've seen before, and is very strong, but the auto nade could catch them off guard if they're not careful. They're taking this choke, and they're moving up onto this high ground. Not a bad rotation, but they're definitely dangerous. The CQ1 pins back to point. They drop the teleporter, and they're just spamming in damage right now as Off-White gets this beam starting to ramp up, and it's doing a lot of damage. However, someone's already frozen. Jumpeni takes that CQ1, though, and Off-White is clearing out that Islander. A lot of damage. The anti comes through though, and Halen cleans it up. There's 2 down already. It's a scrappy fight, but Jumpeni likes those kinds of fights as his big hammer swings through and cleaves the rest of the team apart. Megalodon looking for that final freeze, but I think the only thing he's gripping is a cold, icy return to the grave.
Well said. I cannot say it better myself. And taking a look at the ultimate economies, Jumpeni's going to be having the shatter online, as well as, well, nothing really else for either team. If I have to take a look, Halen popping off might be able to get his high noon just in time on this high ground, but we'll have to see how that pans out. It looks like they're going to opt for another TP rotation.
Oh,
Havoc
but the big anti-nade absolutely lays them out, and they have to stall for a little bit on that high ground. That's not really want. The Kree has even more time to poke at you, but the Honest taking some spam damage. The Kree's been booped down. An epic play from Dacus on the Lucio. The window's out. Halen, however, takes out Halen pops off and takes out 3. What more can you ask for? That's why we have this man in. Halen coming up with a big play.
Dacus trying to make the great escape, but will he be able to get out? No. Halen, of course, popping off. Whenever he's in your sights, man, you best believe that he is going to dome you into oblivion. Dak Game Boy trying to go for the quick reset to grab his mech back.
Absolutely. Has to burn a little bit of time, but you know what? If you're 4-3 Havoc right now, you're sitting pretty. You got a 5-minute time bank coming in here. That said, what they may not be tracking right now is the number of ultimates that are on the side of UNew Haven Varsity. It looks like they're setting up for this sim wall play. Sets it up quite well, divides the team, stops Halen from really being able to get a lot of that value in from that high ground. Nano! Bombs! There's Mayults, there's so many ultimates going on right now, and the remake kill on Off-White, but the double bomb kill from the Game Boy! It's winnable, but it's not winnable because Sunday has just cleared out your Baptiste. So, that was a crazy epic fight full of ultimates, and I think at this point you gotta start thinking about switching off this sim composition because it's kind of hard to get through when you're not taking high ground. So they move over to this move over to the Kree. Kree to contest Halen, I think, is going to be necessary here, and of course, Boatname has this Reaper ult, so you kind of got to keep that. It's your only real tool. It's the only tool on the board to work with right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, but taking a look here, man, like the amount of ultimates that University of New Haven had to use there to even just stop the full aggression from that push is really quite difficult.
But they're having more internet issues. Off-White just had a little bit of a lag issue and got domed. Halen says, I'm going to collect on your problems as he cleans up Dacus as well. Problems all around if you're 4-3 Havoc, his boat name is not looking healthy either. And this is another hold. They've gone from 6 minutes to 3 minutes already.
This is absolutely insane. Like, whenever you are 4-1-3 Havoc, you are feeling confident, but you're kind of shaking in your boots a little bit. Like, could this actually happen? With SS Boat Name, I don't think that he's necessarily dropping the ball on the Reaper. I mean, his ultimate here will determine if he, deserves to be in that spot. But, you're hoping Croissant's back to make the plays.
Absolutely, all eyes on Boat Name, and he is shattered right now, so he's not going to get that kind of value he needs. He needs to force the Wraith. He's looking for that. Oh, but insta-sleep and deleted into the high noon. Oh my goodness, Halen is there to collect on that soul. Back when Reaper used to collect souls, and Jumpeni is looking very unhealthy. Off-White does manage to take out CQ1, but the respawn is going to be there all too quickly, and there are 5 ultimates from the side of UNew Haven right now.
Dacus is an absolute monster. Like, look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go all the way around the map. That was
The
insane.
absolute Reddit king.
Reddit King, completely unchallenged. We might need to have an award at the end of the season. Who's the best Reddit Lucio out of all the teams?
Oh, Dacus heard that one, and he's coming for it now. You better best nobody be playing on Ilios against that guy.
For sure, for sure. And taking a look again at the ultimates from University of New Haven. They have 5 ultimates coming into this fight. Are they going to dump them all again? We'll just have to see. Starting
There's
out
a fantastic freeze. absolutely just catches all of Havoc unaware. Tank line goes down. They're staggering out this baby diva for a little bit, but it's not going to be long. And SS Boatname is in a dangerous situation. He is not looking healthy, and Halen is going to collect again. Halen has been all over these DPS. And one ult fight. One ult fight from the team that has 5 ultimates. That is a sustainable ultimate economy.
Yeah, if I'm New Haven, I absolutely take those every day of the week. 1 ult per fight. I mean, you might even, not use an ult for 2-3 fights, but this of course is best case scenario. Jump Penny trying to make something happen, just trying to go down main. CQ1 will drop to match. It's just an absolute brawl down in the middle. The Shatter does come down, finds 2, but the beat from Islander will keep everyone up on New Haven. The High Noon coming in, but will get walled. The bomb finds 2.
Big bomb finds 2. Big Juice finishes off Halen in that animation, and there's another bomb from Sunday out, but it's all it's going to find is the immortality field. Sunday Remake does not find any kills either. And now it's stall time. CQ1 is on this ball, coming out. He's getting the stall. It's down to 54 seconds remaining. Boatname gets out. The Islander, though. There's Megalodon on this Doomfist. Halen comes out on the Tracer. All the staggers you could possibly wish for, but they do not get it to overtime. There is a minute remaining, and Havoc is still in this game.
I got my heart beating a little bit, man. I might need to check my blood pressure. That was stressful. But you know what? Havoc made it out with a minute on the clock, and University of New Haven will be on the defense again with a minute 47. If you're Havoc, are you liking these odds at this point?
Yeah, I think I'm liking these odds at this point. Some absolutely monstrous plays coming out from both teams, and a minute to a minute 47. I gotta give it the edge to the minute 47, but coming out here, as his Boatname is definitely putting in his best work. He does find picks here and there. He's trying to do his best croissant imitation. I don't think it's fooling anyone just yet, though.
Well, we'll have to see. He could show up at this play of the game. There's still some potential. We still have some time to play some signature great Overwatch. We'll just have to see how it pans out. Looking at the defense coming in from University of New Haven, they're just going back to their traditional brawl, except they're keeping that Ana, which in their defense did work really well for them. The utility coming in from Ana, as well as the sleeps and the nano boost, it's just too much utility. Too much utility for Havoc to handle.
Absolutely, and now we're getting off this match, and there comes the sim rollout again. We'll see if they catches them off guard. They sticking with this Ana pick from Genghis Khan to come out, sets up the TP, and where is it going? I think it's going to the other high ground this time, so it's not something the same play twice. That's a good sign. Coming out early, the wall goes up, however, Jumpenny's very isolated. The damage is coming out. CQ1 cleaves him through the universe, and that's it. All she wrote for that. CQ1 is going absolutely ham. Big Juice finishes him off. Halen getting a pick there, but Boatname's in your back line. Can you stop this man? Is Boatname the new carry?
Sunday was working on that teleporter before he was trying to help his team finish off the rest of the staggers. I guess just trying to deny any reinforcements coming in from Havoc, but at the same time, you got to deal with the people on point, man.
Absolutely. Now, Halen forced to go over to this Tracer to get back in time. Off-White is on this Doomfist. That's something we've seen him do great with before, and Jumpenny feeds his brains out and gets obliterated by Sunday. And now Off-White is popping off, taking out Genghis Khan, but Sunday is maintaining this point. CQ1 is now back. Halen pops off, takes out Off-White. That's the person you needed to really isolate here. That Doomfist, so much damage potential. That one-shot capability is so dangerous. Now, Immortality Field is gone. Big Juice goes down. That Game Boy frags CQ1 like a Poggers player. Jumpenny almost gets a touch, but he gets blocked off. What a play from the Megalodon as they hold this.
Whew. Could this be the 2-2 we're looking for from University of New Haven? Do we have ourselves a series? With a minute 47 on the clock, we're going to take a look at their attack and what they are looking forward to whenever they come across this Havoc defense. Do you think that something drastic will come out from Havoc?
I think something drastic has to come out from Havoc because all they need is a single tick and they have a minute 47. Now, do you think a minute 47 is enough time to charge a grab dragon? Because that could be all they need to seal this deal.
Absolutely, but it doesn't even look like the University really opts for the Zarya at all. Looks like they're sticking with the Diva Sunday on Diva, which is interesting. I think we've seen them on Zarya for the most point of the time. Halen going on the Reaper actually instead of his signature Kree and or the stalling Tracer that he was just popping off with. So they might be opting to just go straight to point and just brawl it out for as much as it's worth. But Jump Any, that Game Boy on the Reinhardt Diva, and just going to the signature brawl style. They're just looking to play as much mechanically sound Overwatch as they can. Hold this for the minute 47 and take the draw.
Absolutely, and that Fire Strike does not get the same kind of value it did last time. Jump Penny is at 0%, picking up to 1% from when he was at 20%. That is already a marked improvement. The Sim TP comes out, and they're on the high ground. A huge flash from Off-White, 25% to his ult already, but not going to be enough, and it almost risks his life for it. They take this long wrap rotation around the left side, and now they play from the high ground, and it's over. Anakin, as they come in, and Jump Penny's just trying a desperate Ryan, trying to get the sustain he can. The May wall goes up, but it doesn't quite catch anybody in time. And Jump Penny goes down. Halen is there with the damage. That Game Boy gets D-Max. He's trying to make all the plays he can, but Megalodon is there. The damage to sustain is just not going to be enough. Megalodon is flipping the script. They got 3. The Mega's popping off. Give him the 4K, but Genghis Khan says nope. Lucio's frag too. I've requested. And that's the map. That's the series. We have a 2-2 game.
Not quite the series yet, but we're definitely taking a look at going into a map 5. Let's see how Halen performed on this McCree in this play of the game. Ooh, clean.
Absolutely. Fantastic play.
All right, guys. That is the kind of signature Overwatch that we like to endorse here at 413. And remember, if you want to keep supporting this kind of content as well as keep us keeping on, then please drop that follow, drop that Prime sub. It would really go a long way. But for the meantime, we're going to give these teams a little bit of a rest, go to a quick 3-minute intermission. Don't go away.
quite the match we have on our hands here, Red Barrel, if I do say so myself. We're coming into Busan as our next map. And oh boy, who'd have thought at the end of the night it would be 2-2 right now. Havoc v UNew Haven.
Absolutely. University of New Haven with the upset of coming back, going for the reverse sweep. Can they do it? I think that they can. With Croissant still being out of this game, one of the star DPS of Havoc. Unfortunate circumstances. However, this might be the break that University of New Haven needs in order to just have the DPS diff of their lives.
Absolutely. SS Boatname, of course, doing the best he can. Perhaps maybe time to put him on a Tracer pick a little closer to the Zarya that we know him and love him for. It is difficult to see, and I think, if nothing else, Havoc is kind of bleeding their hand a little bit, showing exactly what has brought them so much success in the past, and it'll be really up to the remainder of the Havoc lineup to really pull off and show that they aren't just, get down, Mr. President, to Croissant all game long.
Absolutely. It's time for Jump Penny. Carry the team by his bootstraps, as well as Dacus maybe making some Reddit plays, going above and beyond. I mean, with Croissant gone, somebody's got to fill those shoes, and I'm just waiting for the team to either they play as a team more coordinated than ever before, or somebody's got to come out to be the star. And
Absolutely.
I'll be watching for it.
And of course, Off-White, that recent pickup, brand new as of the last game against Batted Overwatch, another fantastic match that I'll recommend you go watch. Off-White looking to probably fill those shoes. He's the brand new player. He's the rookie in the game, and it's time for the rookie to pull off the win. Of course, without their subs in right now, Croissant's not in, Bang's not in tonight, so it's on SS Boatname and Off-White to really carry that DPS line. And so far, I'd say based on Hanamura's actions, they're kind of lacking. So as soon as we hop in here on Busan, it'll be interesting to see. I bet you New Haven Varsity is all too willing to take advantage of this situation. And Halen has not been missing tonight. I wouldn't want to go up against him. I'm positive no one else would.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if New Haven just found a brand new fire started in their bellies, and they are going to try that brawl again, just one more time. That's all they need, is just give me one more time, and then just absolutely explode out onto these next maps coming in for Busan. I mean, brawl can be ran on all of them, and there is a little bit of room for malleability when it comes to downtown. However, taking a look at these matches, taking a look at these past matches, I feel like they want to run the brawl. They're just a little scared. But now, after they've seen that they can take the maps, they want to run it. They want to run it down.
And it seems we're about to start jumping in there now. And of course, crazy circumstances here, and it almost leads back to that moment of perhaps hubris from 413 Havoc playing their bench players for their third map on Route 66. The map they lost so convincingly, gave that starting lineup, those hungry New Haven Varsity players, that opportunity to really seize the day. And they come in here and they take advantage of it. They take their momentum, and now they're going to hammer it out on Busan. I am excited to see this downtown phase.
This is going to be an absolutely energized match with Havoc back on the wire, but still has the chance to absolutely take this home. New Haven on the aggression, keeping their momentum. Any team can come out on top.
Absolutely. And if you want to be part of the next team coming out on top, remember to follow, go check out our Discord and join up with the 4-1 Esports League and brand. The organization, friendly, competitive, and awesome to go around. Lots to learn. And you could be the next manager of the next great team of champions, just like Jumpenny is right now. But Jumpenny looking to defend his title as we start off 5-4, 3-2-1 coming in here. And it's the Ana versus the BAP again, a matchup that they are so happy to favor Off-White on this Hanzo. Kind of the only off pick, but understandable with all the high ground. Rotations coming in. One goes straight to point. One takes the off-road going towards the coast. Kind of questionable rotations, but I understand them. Trying to avoid the Maywall isolation. Teams gets kind of separated. Jumpenny's extremely close to the edge. Halen takes out as Boatname there on the creep pick. But Dacus gets a boop kill onto Sunday, and Going Boy answers back on a Halen. This is not exactly the play that you thought was going to come out. UNew Haven thought it was going to be a walk, but Islander takes out Jumpenny, and Off-White is just cleaning up the remainder as Dacus shows up. Maybe it's a Reddit Lucio carry. That's what we've got tonight.
I'm still awestruck from that kill onto Sunday. The boop coming in from Dacus into the moving train. The timing was just absolutely impeccable. He must have known that, he must have memorized the train timings a million times in order to get that kill. Absolutely fantastic.
Of course, they say no one's memory is better than a Reddit Lucio's. They know every spot to hit for their rollouts. And now Sunday going absolutely aggressive here, but they trade out Rhines. However, Big Juice's Immortality Field is gone, and Halen answers out onto Big Juice as well. So now it's up one if you're CQ1. Halen takes out another one. He's on an absolute tear. Someone get this man out of your back line. He's going off. Off-White manages to get Megalodon, but will be enough to hold off the rising tide. Halen goes down too. Off-White looking to fill those shoes. That's what we've been talking about. And there's a very low HP Dak Game Boy on the side here fighting out with Sunday, and this fight could go either way, but Jumpenny comes in with that cleave damage. There's a Nano Diva in my point though. What is going on? This fight is so scrappy, going up to 50% now, and a wasted perhaps Nano, not intended to be used. That one's going to be one back to the drawing board, and 6 ultimates coming up for almost both teams, except for minus the Nano, so it's 5v6 in Ultimate Warfare right now. What are your thoughts, Red Barrel?
I mean, it's got to be an engage with the freeze, taking them off the high ground, isolating them in any way possible, just getting them to stop using abilities.
Absolutely. Big Dragon comes out, takes out 3 from the side of UNew Haven Varsity, and that's not the matchup they wanted. Off-White absolutely going off right now. Jumpenny finishes off Halen, and that's going to be that bell just rang for another 6K.
Oh, it's up to Islander maybe to hit the Lucio roll out of his life in order to hit this point. And the bomb does come out from Sunday. SS Boatname getting walled off from the high noon, but the wall drops.
CQ1 was not ready for the drop, and Dacus' beat is there to sustain. The Shatter comes out, laying a couple down on the ground. The return beat from Islander, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's only 3 people of New Haven alive. 99-0. Could this go exactly like Oasis did? Such an unfavorable matchup as the timer goes ticking down. Big Shatter 4-man, but not enough to get there on time. CQ1 sacrifices the time bank for the awesome plays. Respect. I respect that.
I think we saw something similar on King's Row as he tried to make it to the point. It seems like CQ1 is unfortunately dying a lot before the rest of his team, and as a Reinhardt player, you want to be the last one alive. You have the biggest health pool as well as a giant shield. I mean, you just want to sustain as much as possible and give your team as much space to work with. But, you know, this isn't a VOD review for CQ1. This is purely a simple tourney game.
Absolutely, and CQ1 making it look this simple tourney game into a huge upset as they come out against the likes of Jumpenny and his team. They're on the Zarya versus the D.Va. Usually a composition we see going the other way, and Off-White is sticking to this Hanzo pick because he's looking to frag out, and at best he can. Off-White has been succeeding so far. Big stun coming out from as his Boatname, though. Boatname cleans up CQ1. That's Xen, not the one you need to go down early. You lose your Rhine, and the brawl's almost instantly over every time. Jumpenny goes out aggressive. He gets walled, though, now. The boop comes through, saves the Reinhardt, and Sunday is now going down. The D-Mech comes through, Halen dies, the stall is on the point, but I don't think it's going to be enough as the Meg goes down. Sunday quick to follow, and Jumpenny gets to hold the high ground all on his lonesome.
Wow, that was not a favorable fight for University of New Haven. In fact, it's not looking that great for them as this Boatname coming up on that high noon pretty convincingly, 77% on it. They will make the left rotation. University of New Haven going straight to point, trying to get the capture done, get some percentage on the board, but Off-White will take out Halen. The brawl's coming in from both Reinhardts, and it's just a swing battle. The immortality comes out from Big Juice, but it just looks like the picks are going in the way of University of New Haven. But no!
A very close battle, though, as Dacus frags out Genghis Khan. The tanks are alive for New Haven, but they're not looking very healthy as that Game Boy has his healers in tow. Halen comes out, making a look. The hero plays. Sunday frags that Game Boy, though. That's a huge play. Dacus, however, making the difference. He's got 3 so far this fight. Sunday gets 2 there, just in the baby form. Baby D.Va OP can confirm, but they're going to stave off the wave.
I would have liked to see that Baby D.Va get their mech back and go for a remech kill, but that's just me and my meme part of Overwatch.
Absolutely. And it looks like Off-White and Dacus are determined to hold off the Apocalypse today. Windows and mirrors coming up all around. That's a lot of damage from those airs. Grab Dragon comes through, lots of damage, but the Immortality Field is there to sustain them. Not quite in the correct position though, as Off-White gets to clean up those kills for free without the Immortality Field impeding him too much. And it looks like the Megalodon's just going to take a fast reset off the map. Lots of ultimates online for the side of both teams. However, a small advantage. That May ult can be so crucially strong, and that Game Boy cannot launch on it this time. They've spotted the rotation. CQ1's been seen, the highlighter's there, but there's no May wall to really isolate, so it's an aggressive push that comes out. The bomb comes over the top, and Boat Name just cancels it in time and hides behind the wall. The beat to sustain that team. The Shatter gets canceled by a stun. An absolute play from Boat Name. The big beat comes out though as Halen's already down. They're already down by one, but Jump and he trades. CQ1 is on a tear. They come out. The beat's wearing off now, and Off-White's on this high ground, looking to make this new name for himself as the new carry for Havoc. Sunday's mech is gone, but the cap is almost gone through. The point is almost in possession of Haven. Dacus frags out. Sunday is down. It is slowly. The pieces of Haven fall apart. A huge high noon could come through though. Halen hits one, CQ1 another. The point is going to tick down though. Havoc maintain their lead.
Great series coming out from both teams. Absolute nail biter until the end. Havoc starting convincing and ending with an absolute just rush of adrenaline. That was insane. Beautiful little grab dragon, pressing Q like the best of them, but the follow-up is what impresses me the most. Look at those flicks.
Absolutely. Gets that damage in, gets all the need to succeed is in Off-White's veins, and it is pumping.
But now we got to decide an MVP.
And that's a tough one. You know, Havoc, a lot of people played really well. And I don't know, there's two names that really ring out for me, Red Barrel, and I'm going to be honest here. It's Off-White and it's Dacus. Those two put this team on the back in the hour of need. Busan was a scary map going in, and it was a comfortable map win going out.
You know, I was tempted to give it to SS Boat Name, man. He filled a role that he didn't necessarily have. You know, he had guts. He had guts to try to fill Croissant's shoes for sure. And but you know, in the end, I think I have to agree with you. I think that Off-White is going to be our MVP.
Absolutely. And Off-White, you know, just making those consistent plays that really put his team ahead of the other. And in the end, able to fill the shoes that Croissant left. Big shoes, though they may be. GG's to both teams, though. A map 5 series is nothing to scoff at. Could have gone either way, but I got to say that last map and that first map were very dominant for Havoc. I think they just happened to be a fantastic control team.
I think that they had the pacing down. Once they had control of the point, they knew exactly how to hold it. It was always in their control. Their ult rotations from their actual rotations, just everything about the fight was always in the hands of Havoc. And just a beautiful showing of just what it takes to be a good team in this tournament.
Awesome. And I believe very shortly here we will have Off-White in to give his post-game interview. An exciting one nonetheless. Red Barrel, I'm in awe. I'm in awe. That was a map 5 series. And here we have him, Off-White, the man of the hour, the player of Busan, the rookie filling in the shoes of the veteran. How are you feeling, Off-White?
Dude, my heart is racing right now. That was a crazy game.
Absolutely. Full of unexpected twists and turns. And I got to say, what was the moment where it all sunk in that you really had to take over?
I mean, we just went into that last map with like we were all, to be honest, kind of mentally boomed, but we just kind of got our mental reset, and we just all went to that last map, played it the way we normally play it, and I mean, we won.
Absolutely. And is there anything you want to say to the other team?
Oh, they were nuts. We played really well the first round, so we kind of got ahead of ourselves. We went up 2-0, and we kind of just got a bit cocky. We were doing a bit of trolling and Route 66, and yeah, but they played a lot better than we expected them to.
Absolutely. Polite words coming out from Off White here. Red Barrel, do you have any questions for our MVP?
Yeah, absolutely off white. So it is no contest that you guys just absolutely shut down University of New Haven on both control maps. I just gotta say, like, what were your keys to victory there? Like, what were you thinking going into these control maps, and how were you guys able to really like? How were you guys able to win? Just first and foremost.
I mean, I gotta shout out Jumpany. He really helped everyone just reset their mental, especially for that last map. Like he just made sure we kept focusing on the game, not in like the past is the past kind of thing. And we just, like I said, we just played the way we normally play.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And man, I can only imagine how. I mean, what do you got to say to your teammate SS Boat Name for filling in those DPS shoes, man? Like he really he really kind of went out for a neck and tried to give you guys something. Is there anything that you'd like to say to him specifically?
Yeah, no, but name, dude, he played like an owl pro today. He actually popped off.
Absolutely. And there's one for the boys, and there's one for our man of the hour, Off White, coming in here. Huge plays. Thank you very much, Off White. If there's no more questions, Red Barrel, I think we should send him off and go celebrate with his team after a close call, but a reassuring final map.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Off White. Enjoy your win with your team, and thank you so much for the post game interview.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. And now, moving off of the subject of the fantastical gameplay that we just witnessed from Havoc and New Haven Varsity, we're moving into the $41.30 BattleNet giveaway. Whoop, whoop! Are you excited, Red Barrel?
Let's go, man. Best part of the night, free money.
Free money
Wow.
all
I mean,
day
what you gotta
long,
say?
please.
All right. So, and thank you all for the support throughout this stream. We really appreciate it. And it just so happened that you tuned in at the exact right time. So, we are giving away $41.30 of BattleNet balance, and it will be determined randomly by those of you who are in the stream and followed at this time. So, if we can wait on our production, we're going to figure out who that random winner is. So basically, we have a list of followers that are going to be online right now, and we will be doing a drawing in 1 minute. So just stay tuned a little bit longer, and you'll be getting your free BattleNet balance. So, what would you be doing with the balance, Sus, if you decided to win?
Oh, if I decided to win, I don't get a call in that kind of situation there. But if I was fortunate enough to win it, I can think of some pretty clever abbreviations or like change ups. You know, you throw in maybe a 3 for an E here and there for suspect and some alt accounts for Overwatch. Man, I could use some Smurf accounts right now. I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite things about playing tank is not playing tank in my elo.
Absolutely. If I remember correctly, you were just on a tear with Roadhog earlier, and for sure, people are looking out for that. But I mean, it doesn't just apply to Overwatch; it can also apply to any other games. Hearthstone, if you decide to stay competitive, I know that gets expensive with those decks, as well as you could spend it on even Call of Duty games. Get some skins in there. I know that there's a great uh, anime bundle for those of you who
Oh,
are into that sort of thing.
oh,
So,
we have one exposed, everybody. The Red Barrel can confirm he likes anime.
oh no, 2021 like an anime, absolutely unacceptable.
No, of course, all is acceptable here, and it sounds like we've got our winner very shortly here coming in. We'll have to ask them in the chat to post exactly what they're doing because I have no idea. There's so many options you can do with this BattleNet, so hit that follow and get ready.
All right, in just a matter of time. Can we get a drum roll, please? Snooky Wee, Snooky Wee, thank you so much for the support, as well as enjoy your $41.30 courtesy of 413. And please contact Rad at 413 Esports in order to receive your balance. Thank you again so much for the support.
Absolutely. And with all that wrapped up, Red Barrel, I'm afraid we're going to have to say goodnight now. Thank you guys so much for coming out here. It was a lot of fun casting for you guys. It was a really fun game. Did not expect it to go that way, but absolutely fantastic play in the end. And what are we coming up to next, Red Barrel? We're coming up to
So coming up next, we're gonna have, if I remember correctly, the Sunday game is going to be Potatoes versus Ascent at 10 p.m. And then it's going to be Catalyst versus Riot as well. And then coming up tomorrow is going to be Charger Blue versus Bad at Overwatch.
absolutely great games to go watch. So hit that follow button, get that notification when we come in again, and watch some more epic gameplay. I see some more map 5s in my future. I don't know about you, Red Barrel.
Oh man, I can only imagine the amount of crazy nail biting Overwatch we're going to get to see throughout the rest of this tournament. Like we were expecting a pretty how do I say,
Dominant matchup right now.
dominant matchup.
I thought Havoc was gonna come in here and sweep him, but you know what? UNew Varsity proved us all wrong tonight, and I think that's something to be said for this league. How easy it is for any one of these teams to go on an absolute tear and take maps off, even the S tier of our teams.
So, just remember, this could be you on one of these teams battling it out, and you could be having a post game interview just knowing that you popped off. Don't forget to try to join us at 413 Esports and on our Discord. Check out our social medias, as well as if you missed any part of the VOD today, it's going to be 413e.com/YouTube and the VOD will be posted there. But otherwise, suspect, I
No,
think that's a
I
wrap.
think we're all good. So this is gonna be 4-3 suspect and Nightshade Red Barrel signing out. Have a good one, and we'll catch you tomorrow.